Okay, so my kids informed me that the Polaris, the last time they took it out, had hardly any brakes. I told them it was a way to increase their driving skills, but apparently they want me to put brakes on it. I just wanted to show you real quick. On the rear, there's only one. So when you order these brakes in or go to your Polaris dealership, you're only going to have 3 sets of pads. I ordered mine on eBay for just over $20, I think, from Caltrick. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and jack this up and get the wheel off. Okay, so here's our rear brake caliper, and I'm going to go ahead and show you where the bolts are to remove that, but we're not going to remove it just yet. There's a bolt there, there's a bolt there, both 1/2 inch. This one you can get to with a socket, this one probably a box and wrench. But what we're going to do first is we're going to take this hex socket here and remove these pins. You've got some circlips on the end here that need to come off, and I'll use a small screwdriver to do that. And then wind these out. And the reason I'm doing that is because to change the pads on these Polaris machines, you actually have to pull these pins. So let me set the camera down and I'll get going on that. Alright, I got that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pipe to break this loose, because it's actually pretty tight, and that initial snap requires some added torque. And there we go. Alright, so at this point I could remove those 1/2 inch caliper bolts, because these are nice and loose. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. Okay, if you wiggle it a little bit, you'll start to feel it come loose. It also helps get that last bolt out. Give it a couple wiggles and it should come off. Okay, so these pads aren't too bad. Obviously we use the front brakes more, but we're going to go ahead and change them all. So what we need to do now is pull these pins, and change my socket out again here. All right. So these aren't too bad, like I said, but we'll go ahead and replace them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is compress this piston. I don't know if you can see where my thumb is there. I'm going to do it the same way I compress my carb pistons, or my calipers. On some vehicles you do have to use a special tool because you have to wind these in. I don't have a smaller C-clamp. I was hoping I would have one that would be more practical for this job, but okay. It's a little awkward with this large C-clamp. But it compresses nice and easy, so that's good. Okay, you don't want to go crazy with it. You have to compress the caliper because your new pads are going to have more pad on them. So the caliper is, or the piston rather, is needs to be pushed back so they'll fit over the disc. So I don't know if you can see that compared to what it was. Alright, let's see. Old pad, new pad. So there's quite a difference there. Basically what you need to do is hook this one side under the existing pin that we didn't remove, and do the same with the other. And I'm hoping that I compressed that piston enough. But we can test it before we put it all back together. Okay, let's put this pin in and thread it in a little bit. Okay, so what I want to do is just to test it, I want to spread these apart with my fingers and see if they'll slip over the disc. Right? And it looks like we're in good shape. Okay, so what we can do now is just start putting it back together. I'm going to thread on my 1/2-inch caliper bolts that I pulled. And what I do to get them started is I find the hole and then I just kind of wiggle it around a little bit. No comments or by the peanut gallery on that one. Okay, once you have one in, I don't tighten it down all the way because it's definitely easier when you have a little bit of slop in it. And I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera. Okay, and again, so kind of slide it back and forth till you find the hole, wiggle it till it starts to thread in. And that's it. Okay, use my wrench just to tighten that down. And just make sure it's good and snug. Tighten them both up. We're good. Okay, so these pins can be tightened down now. Okay, so we have the 2 pins left. Basically they slide right over the edge like this. And you can actually put those on with your fingers. What I like to do is get it on there and give it a couple spins. That makes, you know, to ensure that that's in the groove. And the bottom one. Alright, I think we're good there. Simply put the wheel on and then we can move on to the front.